Hey everyone! Welcome back to the Nomura channel. Today we're going to master fractions, which includes learning how to simplify, add, subtract, multiply, divide, and even convert fractions to decimals and percentages. This video covers both foundation and higher tier, so let's get started. Fractions often look complicated, but most of the time they can be simplified. For example, if we take the fraction 8/60, we can simplify this by finding the highest common factor, which of both the top and the bottom, which in this case is 4. So what we would do is we would divide by 4 on the top and the bottom. Now this will give us 2/15. So this would be 8/60 simplified. Now it's really important to have this skill because a lot of questions will ask for your answer in a simplified form. So you need to ensure you can do this to obtain full marks. Now, the next thing you need to know are mixed numbers and improper fractions. An improper fraction is just a normal fraction, like 7/4. This would be considered an improper fraction. However, the numerator, it will be bigger than the denominator, which in this case, 7 is obviously greater than 4. If this was flipped the other way around, if we had 4/7, this would just be a regular fraction, and this wouldn't be considered improper. Now, on the other hand, a mixed number combines a whole number and a fraction. So if we were to convert 7/4 into a mixed number, we would take the numerator, divide it by the denominator. So in this case, 7/4 will give us 1 with a remainder of 3. We put that remainder as the numerator, and on the denominator, we'd keep the same denominator. So we'd keep 4, and this would be our mixed number. When we work with multiple fractions, we often need a common denominator. For example, if we have the fractions 1/2 and 2/3, we can't really do much with them in this form. We'd have to convert them to have the same denominator. Now, we can do that by using the lowest common multiple, which in this case is 6, the lowest common multiple of the denominators, which is 6. Now, we can get 6 by timesing this denominator by 3. So we would write this as 6, and we'd do the same to the numerator. We'd do 1 times 3, which will give us 3/6. Now these two fractions are equivalent. Now if we do the same thing to the right side, 3 times 2 gives us 6. So we do 2 times 2, which will give us 4. Now these fractions are in the right form. We can do either addition or subtraction or other operations on them. Now, the next thing you have to know is how to express one number as a fraction of another. For example, if we want to express 2 as a fraction of 10, we would take this number, put it on the top, and we'd put this number on the bottom. Now we can simplify this by dividing by 2, which will just give us 1/5. Now this means that 2 can be expressed as a fifth of 10. Now, we can add and subtract fractions if they have the same denominator. For example, if we have 3/10 plus 5/10, we can just add up the numerators and keep the denominator the same. So this will just give us 8/10. Now, the same thing goes for subtraction. If we have 5/10 minus 3/10, we would just subtract the numerators, which will give us 2/10. Another thing to learn is converting fractions to decimals and then to percentages. So we can convert a fraction, let's say 1/2, to a decimal by dividing the top by the bottom. Now, if we divide 1 by 2, we will just get 0.5, which is our decimal. Now, if we want to convert this decimal into a fraction, we would have to multiply by 100. Now this will just give us 50%, and that is how you convert from fractions to decimals to percentages. To multiply fractions, you'd first, for example, if we want to multiply 2/3 times 5/7, we just multiply the numerators and the denominators. So 2 times 10 is just 10, and 3 times 7 would be 21. Now on the other hand, if we want to do division, let's say 2 over 3 divided by 5 over 7, we'd use a method called KFC. KFC just stands for keep, flip, change. Now, what this means is that you keep the first fraction exactly the same. You would flip the second fraction, so we would have 2 over 3, and then 7 over 5, because we flipped the fractions, and then you change the sign. So instead of division, you now change it to the multiplication sign, and you do the same thing again. So now you'd have 2 times 7, or 14 over 15. And this is how you divide a fraction.
Hi everyone. Unfortunately, she was not able to record an outro for this video, so that's why I'm here to fill the gap, but that about wraps it up for this video. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye bye.